Hello and welcome to Channel 1 Newsroom from our studios at number 5, Owula Hansen Lane at Tesano, here in Accra. I am Nanatifo Boateng. Coming up, Majority in Parliament wants Office of the Special Prosecutor abolished, while advocating for Attorney General's Department to be empowered to fight corruption.
I believe that it is high time that this Parliament reconsiders its decision to approve the establishment of the Office of Special Prosecutor. I think that we should abolish it. I honestly.
Officials of the Office of the Special Prosecutor inspect and verify landed property of private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu as surety to secure bail.
Ghanaian people have spoken. You saw yesterday the Ghanaian people, social media, traditional media, as we do the news stories. I'm sure they've seen that, no, they've lost badly. They've lost badly. So the story remains that Kisieja being sat on his hands and allowed Ofuriatta to run out of this country. When Ofuriatta had 5 cases pending before Kisieja being, which leads to a reasonable.
Away from that, President Mahama orders investigations into mass failure recorded in the 2025 West Africa Senior School Certificate Examination, WASSCE.
It has become an issue of great concern. One of the major things that has taken place in the last several years is the neglect of basic education.
Also coming up, Greater Accra Regional Minister warns MMDCEs to ensure free flow of traffic before, during, and after Christmas or face sanctions.
Intensify patrols, strict enforcement of traffic regulations, and the deployment of additional MTTD personnel to manage known congestion, hotspots such as major intersections, marketplaces, malls, restaurants, popular clubs, and...
Coming up in Channel 1 Business. Ghana and other developing countries end 2025 under financial pressure owing from external debt servicing. And later in Channel 1 Sports. Former Cote d'Ivoire striker Didier Drogba lauds new World Cup format, saying it will give more room for African football development. Thank you for choosing us this hour. Let's begin the bulletin from Parliament, where the majority is calling for the abolition of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, insisting that the Attorney General's office should be empowered as the sole institution responsible for investigating and prosecuting corruption cases. Now addressing Parliament, Majority Leader Mahama Yariga questioned the rationale behind under-resourcing the Attorney General while allocating substantial funds to the OSP, which he argues has failed to meet expectations. Channel 1 News' Nia Ikwe reports.
Following the detention of private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, the Majority Caucus on Thursday disclosed that it was summoned the Special Prosecutor over what it describes as an abuse of office. This generated debate on the floor of Parliament, with some lawmakers calling for the abolishment of the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
Speaker, we are saying that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has abused its powers in this matter. And I will not hesitate. I will not hesitate to say that this House, we created the office. And the Office of the Special Prosecutor, if it continues to abuse its powers, then we may have to abrogate it. This House, we shall be inviting him to come and brief the House the circumstances under which he would detain a citizen under such whimsical circumstances.
I believe that it is high time that this Parliament reconsiders its decision to approve the establishment of the Office of Special Prosecutor. I think that we should abolish it. I honestly think we should abolish it because we've experimented it and we cannot see any achievement. Major cases of clear corruption. Up to date, the office has not been able to do anything. So it cannot do anything.
Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, like we say in Twi, etua onyonku mua, etua diem, etua uhumu dia, etua nipem. To wait, Mr. Speaker, when it happens to somebody and he's complaining about it, you see absolutely nothing wrong with it. When it happens to you, now you complain. They will detain you and put onerous bills, whip you, whisk you away, unknown destination. Then your lawyers, everybody looking for you. We've had clients at our firm we are chasing all over town. When you say it, because it has not happened to them, they don't complain. That's why our elders say, today, because it has happened on their side, they are complaining.
And we cannot continue to allocate that huge sums to the same office when we are not getting the results. This is one of the agencies we should be looking at. It's getting almost the same amount like the Attorney General's Department. Please, let's face the bull by the horns and make sure that the right thing is done.
Lawmakers have described the Office of the Special Prosecutor as one that is not fit for purpose, hence the need for its abolishment. It is expected that in the coming days, a private member's motion could be tabled for the execution of this agenda. Reporting for Channel 1 News from Parliament, me Ayukwe Okan.
The Office of the Special Prosecutor has released the private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu after verifying a landed property submitted as part of his bail conditions. Kpebu was detained on Wednesday, December 3, following an alleged confrontation with a military officer and was directed to report again on Thursday, December 4. Channel 1 News' Samuel Akom has more.
Private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu was on Wednesday, 3rd December 2025, arrested and detained by the Office of the Special Prosecutor after an altercation with a military officer. The confrontation occurred when he honored an invitation to assist the OSP with evidence related to allegations he had previously made against the institution. He was subsequently transferred to the Bureau of National Investigations, now known as the National Intelligence Bureau, before being granted bail with instructions to return on Thursday, December 4. On Thursday, Martin Kpebu reported back to the OSP as directed for further engagement. As part of the bail process, OSP officials escorted him to verify a landed property he had presented as surety. Following the successful verification and fulfillment of the other bail conditions, the OSP released him.
The next thing we had to do was then to bring the surety. So one of my sureties was away. So it took maybe another 30 minutes. So we are accounting for the first 3 hours. Then, when we are about moving, they said when we are done inspecting my residence and then the landed property I've given them, we should come back here. And you know, it's been a long day. Yesterday and today I'm exhausted, so we didn't see the reason for it. So that negotiation also took at least 30 minutes, but eventually we had to obey.
Martin Kpebu additionally stated that he remains convinced the special prosecutor should be removed from office, citing his inability to stop former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta from leaving the country.
Ghanaian people have spoken. You saw yesterday the Ghanaian people, social media, traditional media, as you did the news stories, I'm sure they've seen that, no, they've lost badly. They've lost badly. So the story remains that Kisieja being sat on his hands and allowed Ofuriatta to run out of this country. When Ofuriatta had 5 cases pending before Kissie Ejabin, which leads to a reasonable suspicion of collusion.
He further confirmed that he is expected to reappear before the OSP next Tuesday for continued engagement.
Possibly Tuesday. Now, the SP's allegations are closed for now because we've made it clear that they have to show us that they've set up an independent committee. Okay. That's when next we will respond. Are they saying that so there will never be a board? I'm sure efforts are being made to constitute the board. There's no expiry date for crime.
Moving on, President John Dramani Mahama has linked the poor performance in the latest WASSCE to the neglect of basic education. During the unveiling of the STEM Box initiative for primary institutions, he noted that the Ministry of Education and the Ghana Education Service would review the examiner's findings and roll out swift changes. He stressed that strict examination supervision will continue and called on families and schools to prepare students enough.
Recently, the West African Exams Council has released the results for the last West African School Certificate Examination. And as the Honorable Minister has said, it has become an issue of great concern to government, parents, and the public at large. But it also emphasizes the issue of foundational learning. One of the major things that has taken place in the last several years is the neglect of basic education. Inability to send the capitation grants, ensuring that we have quality teachers at the foundational level, at the basic level, because it is that level that prepares the child for secondary and tertiary education. Strict invigilation is not going to go away. And so we must make sure that the children are well prepared to, on their own, be able to study and pass the exams that are waiting for them.
Well, let's still stay with the presidency because His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has handed over 40 operational vehicles to the Ghana Police Service, declaring his commitment to secure the nation's peace. At a handing over ceremony at the police headquarters in Accra, the president noted that the procurement was a direct fulfillment of his administration's pledge to retool and modernize all security agencies. Channel 1 News' presidential correspondent Akusia Ochre reports.
The president says government is reinforcing the nation's security as it deployed 40 advanced armored vehicles to the police service. The new fleet, comprising pickups and Cobra vehicles, he says, marks the first phase of a retooling effort. He revealed that the vehicles will be backed by new drones, upgraded communication systems, and additional patrol pickups.
Of the murders that occurred, with good police intelligence, you've been able to bring the suspects to book. And that is why you need to be equipped to be able to carry out your duties. These 40 vehicles are just the first batch. By the end of this month, you receive 2 tow trucks so that anytime any of these vehicles gets immobilized anywhere, you can go and pick the vehicle and bring it back to base. You will also get 10 Corvettes operational vehicles that I have been cautioned not to talk about. It's only you who will know you have them.
He highlights officers who have died while on operations without proper equipment and assured the government is now prioritizing officer protection as a policy shift.
Many times we send our police, who are the frontline protectors of the public, into assignments without giving them the appropriate safety equipment and instruments to be able to do their work. That is going to be a thing of the past. We will give you the right instruments so that as you do your duty, you also are safe and are able to come back to your families.
Interior Minister cautioned police officers against abusing their authority.
A citizen raises a hand against a police officer. He strikes at the heart of the state. Such conduct is unacceptable, and under the laws of this country, it will be met with firm and decisive response. However, partnership is a two-way street. To the dedicated officers of the Ghana Police Service, these resources and the trust reposed in you are not a license for intimidation or excesses. They are instruments of protection and not oppression.
Some of our men have sustained life-threatening injuries, and in some instances, unfortunately, some have paid the ultimate price. It is against this backdrop that I am particularly delighted that today we are receiving these armored vehicles, which are going to ensure utmost protection for our officers as they gallantly execute our mandate of protecting life and property.
Let's now go over the phone lines and speak to private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu regarding all that has transpired between himself and the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Counsel, thank you so much for joining us. Now, if you look at all that has happened, especially within the last 24 hours, what is your own conviction regarding the Special Prosecutor?
It's clear, especially even with Parliament wading in, that Kisi Ejabin's days are over. Yeah, Kisi Ejabin is certainly clearly not fit for the office, not fit at all, or he's scoring personal points. It's not surprising because, Kisi didn't go through any competitive selection. Kisi Ejabin was chosen because he's a friend and a client, a lawyer to Gabi Otridako, and then he did some work too for Furiata. And so Gabi and then the Godfrey Dami also had a lot of influence. Kisi Ejabin wasn't chosen amongst lawyers as the best. It wasn't in a competitive selection. It was a nepotistic appointment. So he wasn't assessed and all that. Kisi had no prosecutorial experience when he took that office, etc. And so that's what is shown. That when he got so much power, now he's using it for personal aggrandizement, vindictive actions, going after people who are calling him out. So it's a very bad record, and I'm sure he'll go away with it. Very disgraceful, shameful. Yeah, that's what it is. Yesterday, look at what happened. What happened? A soldier abused me. What did Kisi Ejabin even bring the soldiers there to do in the first place? You see how he doesn't even respect the Constitution. What were the soldiers doing there? Because look, today when we went, now the soldiers had been withdrawn. If he thought they were there for a good reason, why has he withdrawn them today? Why has he withdrawn them? The Constitution is clear in Article 200 that let police do law and order matters, and then soldiers are for war and other developmental activities like building bridges, schools, roads, etc. Don't bring them into non-civilian activities. Why? If he thought the use of the soldiers was justified, why is it that today when I went to the OSP, he didn't have them there? They had been withdrawn. How do you embarrass the military like that? The military are not trained to do policing. So sometimes they don't have the temperament for normal policing because the soldier just abused me. Look, I'm a very careful person. It's not like because I talk, hold up, calling out a Kufuado, etc. doesn't mean I'm loud in everything. No. That if you meet me in person, I'm very calm. Right. I give normal instructions, I obey. So if you see what happened yesterday, it's because the soldier insulted me. And I said that no, he had no right to insult me for me to keep quiet. If a lawyer cannot protect his own rights, how can he protect other person's right or help other person's rights? That's why I had to reply him.
Counsel, today will be the third time you've attended upon the invitation of the OSP. Have you met Mr. Ejabin in person in all these, on all three occasions?
No, not at all. Which is not unusual and which is not ago. It's yielding some results. So I'm not somebody he will be happy to see. And I understand.
Very well. Have there been any charges preferred against you officially?
No, not yet. Not yet. You see, when they are doing charges, we have two stages. There's what we call the caution statement. So that's the investigative stage. So the police, that's where they arrest you, the stage one. When we say arrest doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to keep you inside, etc. No, it just means they will confine you. Sometimes, yes, the arrest includes incarceration, but it doesn't always. Because when you say arrest, by the technical side, you touch the person and say you are under arrest for so and so offense. You are not obliged. That is not compulsory to speak. But if you speak, it will be taken down in writing and then used against, put in evidence in court. So as soon as you are done with those Miranda rights, etc., quickly you can admit the person to bail. So arresting somebody doesn't mean you must keep him. Detention is another thing. So basically, they don't, have to always arrest and keep the person in there. No, that's not it at all. You can just admit the person to bail and then do it. But you see, Jabin just wanted to use the office for personal aggrandizement. So they arrested me and then decided to detain me on very spurious grounds. And now it's all falling apart.
At a point, your lawyer said they couldn't find you. Where were you taken?
DNI. Can you imagine? Over comments, exchange of words with a soldier. And then that attracted DNI, incarceration. Well, can you imagine if it was robbery or corruption and corruption related? Then that one, they don't even need DNI. They need super DNI. This one is just an ordinary case of a soldier abusing a citizen and the citizen standing up for his rights. Yet they said, take him to DNI. They took me there, and then, of course, eventually, things worked out, and then I was released.
Very well.
But it's a very shameful conduct. But for what we should be highlighting is that all of this case, this brouhaha, is over the fact that Kisei Jabin allowed Oforiatta to flee Ghana. Kisei Jabin said he intercepted a letter that Oforiatta wrote saying that he wants to leave Ghana. And Kisei couldn't call him in, arrest him, then grant him bail, like what he has done to me. This whole case, what Kisei has done to me, is exactly what we've been crying about, saying that, look, nobody can say Oforiatta should not travel if there is genuine evidence that he's sick. But we wanted him to do the same thing. As I'm talking to you now, today, I had to take them to my house to show them my residence, that's WASSCE, and then took them to the landed property I had to put in as bail. So now they have this, the landed property. So if I were to run, they will go against the landed property. So it's the same thing we're asking them to do against Oforiatta. This simple thing Kisei Jabin couldn't do. This simple thing, he didn't even know how to shout for help. He even lied on DNI, lied that DNI didn't help. DNI wrote back to me saying that no, it's a lie. He's never come there and he wants to arrest Oforiatta, etc. Kisei is not fit for that office. It's not fit at all. He has to go with Sami Dako and Albert Akrugu. These three guys, they have to go. They need to go. Otherwise, this WASSCE office.
Council, you accuse Kisei Jabin of using the office for personal aggrandizement, trying to settle personal scores. What would you say to those who argue that you are actually eyeing the work of the SP, for which reason you are embarking on this crusade?
Oh, no, that's not true. That's not true at all. Nana Tufu, I've been in this public space for some years now. So I was eyeing it. At least common sense would dictate that I should not be the one agitating for its removal. Because it will be easy for people to say, oh, so that's why you were doing this. People will say, oh, so, the optics will be bad. If that's why I intended, at least I'm smart enough to go and find surrogates to do the fight. But the fact that I'm leading the charges means that that's not my intention at all. So anybody who says so doesn't know what he's talking about at all. That's not my nature.
Oh, Council.
So all that, yes, okay.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, so, I've spoken all these years on radio. By a certain number of years, you'll be able to gauge that, oh, this person, at least, is fairly smart or not smart. I'll look very dumb that I've been going around lobbying for the position and then coming out to stoke, not just stoking, leading the charges that I want to remove it. It will look ridiculous. No, that's not what I've been looking
at. Council, thank you so much for your time, and we wish you well.
Welcome.
Martin Kpebu is a private legal practitioner speaking to us there regarding his arrest and detention by the Office of the Special Prosecutor and, of course, his subsequent release. This is the Channel One Newsroom here on Channel One Television. Still to come. Ghana and other developing countries end 2025 under financial pressure owing from external debt servicing. We have the details coming up shortly. Please do stay.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Or being late, of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. Yeah, you go be the luckiest. Coffee from Georgia be luckiest. From Natepia, cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God the apple boom. If you put it with a so would the coming of the Son of Man be.
Hey!
Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month.
Are you aged 45 years and over and or noticed blood in your stool and have a family history of cancer? Then don't hesitate to have a colonoscopy. Early detection of cancer and effective treatment saves lives. Visit us or call us on 0244 581 541 or 0271 054 204. Mintuba Hospital. In to serve a peculiar health need.
Papa no no, 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 Ankasa. Polytank is everywhere, durable and authentic. Stronger brand you can trust. Polytank, we get sumo, Rambo, and get sumo super. And the Polytank we did.
Polytank, papa no Ankasa.
Hey Ghana, so you people know Miss Brother Once more. If you knew, it's your boy. Kill them all, kill them all. But this time, I'm not only killing mosquitoes, I am killing the great. See, this wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have the perfect mosquito-free atmosphere. Thank you, Out Insecticide. And yeah, Out Mosquito Coil. For a mosquito-free atmosphere, trust Out to... You are not serious.
Out Insecticide. So ya boa faha.
This is AFCON, my friend. Everything is a competition. Everything.
Join our family for AFCON Morocco 2025 from 21 December to 18 January. Available on DSTV and GoTV.
You're welcome back. Next, we have Channel 1 Business with Neteli Nete Ajaho.
Channel 1 Business is brought to you by MTN and EcoBank.
This Christmas Eve, skip the ordinary and step into the extraordinary. Welcome to the Situation All White Party 2025, where the music never stops, the energy never drops, and the fun never ends. Celebrating grand style with great music, irresistible food, and an atmosphere that screams good vibes only. Date 24th December 2025. Venue Good Park near the Accra Mall. Time 8 p.m. till late. Dress code, it's an all-white affair. Get ready for electrifying live performances from Kofi Kinata, Kwabua, Perez Music, Inchin Chin Band, and DJ Mingle. Your best all-white fit. Bring your dancing shoes and let's light up the night together. Book your tables now. Call 0205-973-973 or 0558-973-973. It's Christmas Eve. Don't miss it. The Situation All-White Party 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM, and it's proudly sponsored by EcoBank, Bethel Logistics, and Hallmark Cafe, and supported by Oswald Investments Limited.
Hello, Natalie. It's good to have you.
It's good to have you too.
What's the World Bank saying about Ghana?
They're saying that low and middle income countries are finding it difficult to grow because of high debt payments.
Well, tell us more.
Okay. Now, developing countries, including Ghana, are ending 2025 under severe financial pressure after paying $741 billion more in external debt service between 2022 and 2024 than they received in new financing. This means money is flowing out in repayments than coming in as fresh support, a situation worsening financial vulnerabilities across emerging markets. Many low and middle income economies are now struggling with limited room to invest in growth, infrastructure, and social protection. This report has more.
The scale of the shortfall is detailed in the World Bank's latest international debt report, released in December, which warns that low and middle income economies are now facing their most severe financing pressures in decades as rising interest costs and shrinking access to credit tighten conditions. The report highlights mounting fiscal distress, with interest payments alone soaring to $415 billion, diverting resources away from health, education, infrastructure, and other essential services. External debt stocks reach a record $8.9 trillion, including $1.2 trillion owed by 78 low-income countries eligible for IDA support. Although global interest rates peaked in 2024 and international bond markets temporarily reopened, the relief proved costly. Investors provided $80 billion in net new financing, but at average yields of around 10%, far above pre-2020 levels. At the same time, countries undertook $90 billion in debt restructurings, the highest since 2010, as they sought to avert default. The human impact is worsening. In the 22 most heavily indebted countries, 56% of people cannot afford the minimum daily diet required for healthy living, underscoring the social toll of rising debt and tightening global financial conditions.
Now, tax analyst Francis Timoboy says Ghana's fiscal strategy will need to be firmly anchored on stronger domestic revenue mobilization once the IMF program comes to an end next year. He cautions that without a more deliberate effort to rope in the informal sector, the economy could come under renewed strain when external support tapers off. More in this report.
With the IMF program scheduled to conclude next year, stakeholders are increasingly concerned about how the country will finance its development needs without the IMF buffer. Tax analyst Francis Timoboy speaking to Channel 1 Business on the sidelines of the Media Foundation for West Africa's Tax Dialogue stressed that strengthening domestic revenue mobilization must become central to Ghana's post-IMF plan.
If IMF exits in 2026 May, it is even the most important reason why we need to focus on domestic revenue. The $360 million is not going to come anymore. So I think the Minister of Finance is more, much aware of this one, and that is why he has embarked on this reform.
Acting Head of Strategy and Research at the Ghana Revenue Authority, Dominic Knapp, expressed optimism that planned VAT reforms will help expand the tax base and bolster revenue in the coming year.
Indeed, if you look at the effective rates for the VAT come next year will be 20% as against 21.9%. Even though government intends to actually, in terms of revenue from the VAT, may not actually make so much. However, with compliance, we should be able to actually raise the needed revenue from the VAT.
Now, Energy and Grain Transition Minister John Abdullahi Jinapor is urging West African countries to speed up efforts to work together on energy issues so that the region can have affordable and sustainable power supply. Speaking at the Ministers' Roundtable during the 2025 West Africa Energy Cooperation Summit in Accra, he called on governments to quickly align transmission tariffs and expand cross-border power lines to secure cheaper financing.
John Jinapor noted that West Africa has reached a crucial point where deeper integration of national power systems is no longer optional. He stressed the need to align regional initiatives such as the AFCFTA to unlock the region's industrial and trade opportunities.
If you look at our various economies, we have cycles of peak demand and cycles of off-peak demand. Sometimes when Ghana has peak demand in certain months, Nigeria would have low peak demand in those months, because of festivities and occasions. So that affords Ghana to sell its excess capacity to Nigeria, or to say Burkina or Mali. So that in times when we need more and they have less, we can also take that from them. But even more importantly, if we pool resources together, then it means that through West African Power Pool, we can seek cheaper financing, which means that we can develop our infrastructure, not just the generation capacity, but the transmission network to ensure that we achieve universal access to electricity.
Head of Clients Coverage at Stanbic Bank, Sydney Tete, highlighted the bank's strong involvement in major energy projects across West Africa as the region works towards a more reliable and integrated power system.
We are looking to have an integrated power system. So we're very excited today when we got to know that the West Africa Power Pool has been tested and it seems to be working very well. So we'll continue to back projects that are looking to use gas as transition and also back renewable projects, mainly solar and wind.
Let's now bring you an update on how the currency is performing on the interbank market. And that's all for business. I am Neteli Neti Ajaho. Back to you, Nana.
Well, thank you very much, Neteli. All right, let's bring you some more stories. And management of the Takoradi Harbour says strict adherence to the International Ship and Port Security ISPS code and other maritime safety standards has significantly reduced stowaway incidents and a challenge that once plagued the port. This improvement, they say, has enhanced Takoradi's appeal to international shipping lines. Channel 1 News' Western Bureau Chief reports from Takoradi.
Safety and strict compliance with operational standards remain crucial in the maritime industry. It is in line with this commitment that the Takoradi Harbour, Ghana's premier port, continues to implement the ISPS code diligently, conducting simulation exercises with the participation of all state security agencies.
Takoradi ports and all the ports of Ghana are ISPS compliant and certified by the Ghana Maritime Authority that superintends over the code. Now, ships that are coming to Takoradi port are ports visiting sister ports that are equally compliant. So if you are not compliant or we are not compliant, they cannot do business with us. Meaning, this vessel behind me, if it leaves here, assuming we are not compliant, it cannot go into the port of Singapore, or it cannot go to any port in the Americas, or the European ports, or anywhere that is ISPS compliant. By regulation, that is the ISPS code, every year we are bound to conduct 3 drills and 1 annual exercise, which includes all the state agencies. So today, we conducted our annual exercise, which was named Operation or Exercise Yeni Edaho.
The Takoradi port for years was known or noted for the issue of stowaways, that is illegal migrants moving from here to other parts of the world. But today, managers of the port tells me this concern has actually been dealt with.
As I speak to you, you know we are very close to the indigenes. We call them New Takoradi. And this is what their mindsets, or this is what their mood or their attitudes are like to stow away. Because the people have done it in the past, and they have gone away with it. But now we are cracking down. As I speak to you, Takoradi predominantly was an export port. So there's a lot of export bulk vessels leaving Takoradi with bauxite, manganese, Conco, Chiba, and that kind of thing. Now we have added the best liquid bulk terminal you can have within the region. This vessel came here with over 2,500 containers to be offloaded for feeder vessels to pick within the sub-region. There is always the possibility that somebody will want to stow away. So we are on the high alert. So any ship that is in port, we put a security guard on board, and when they are about leaving, we will do what we call rummaging. We will go and comb everywhere on the vessel, with or without the ship's crew, to ensure that there is no unauthorized passing.
For the managers of the Takoradi port, such drills at the ports put them in readiness to deal with any safety and standard requirements of the maritime industry. For Channel 1 TV News, I'm Akwese Jenny, Takoradi.
Let's now bring you one of our headline stories. The Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Oklu, has launched a traffic management initiative dubbed Operation Free Traffic to ease congestion in Accra during the Christmas season. In an address, Linda Oklu issued a stern warning to MMDCEs to enforce the new directive or face sanctions. Operation Free Traffic is expected to ease the congestion that often cripples movement across the capital during festive periods. Rachel Engman has more in the following report.
Accra is usually gripped with intense human and vehicular congestion before, during and after the Christmas season. The Greater Accra Regional Minister has therefore launched a traffic management initiative, Operation Free Traffic, to address the usual festive season gridlock. The minister ordered the Accra and Tema Police Commands and all assemblies to intensify patrols and manage congestion hotspots such as markets, malls, and major intersections. She also noted that abandoned vehicles will be towed, with owners fined 2,000 Ghana cedis. Linda Oklu appealed to residents to stay alert and support efforts to ensure a safe and peaceful Yuletide.
Measures will include intensified patrols, strict enforcement of traffic regulations, and the deployment of additional MTTD personnel to manage known congestion hotspots such as major intersections, marketplaces, malls, restaurants, popular clubs, and pubs. Additionally, all abandoned vehicles along all principal streets should be towed to the nearest police command to pave way for unobstructed vehicular and pedestrian movement, and owners fined an amount of 2,000 Ghana cedis. I wish to strongly appeal to the commercial drivers, traders, restaurants, pub and club owners, as well as event organizers to support this effort by avoiding any activities that distract the smooth movement of traffic. Any MMDC who fails to comply with this directive within this festive period and beyond will face sanctions accordingly.
With barely weeks to Christmas, the minister says these measures are crucial to keeping Accra moving. The success of the operation, however, will depend on strict enforcement and public cooperation. Reporting for Channel 1 News, I am Rachel Engman.
Scarcity, cost, and irregular supply of poultry food remain a hindrance to poultry production, as many farmers across the country are unable to enhance their operations. Now, with the rollout of the Nkukwo Nkete initiative under the Feed Ghana program, suppliers chosen by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture are scaling up production to ensure sustainability. Channel 1 News' Bureau Chief for the Middle Belt, Hafiz Tijani, reports.
Poultry feed constitutes about 70% of the total cost of every farmer to sustain poultry farms. While some poultry farmers often complain about the cost involved, others struggle to get the feed on time. Government, before the official rollout of the Nkukwo Nkete initiative, selected some local poultry feed manufacturers to help supply beneficiaries of the initiative with the right feed. Some of the suppliers have begun scaling up production after the initiative was launched.
A2 Feed is one of the feed suppliers for the Nkukwo Nkete program. And so we are in charge of 4 regions. It is the Ashanti, Bono, Ahafo, and then Bono East. And so we are in charge of these places. And so every farmer who is in this enclave will get the feed from us. We have maize coming in every now and then. We have soya. We have a soya plant here. And so we buy the soya bean meal, the soya bean itself, and then we work on it to finalize, finally get the soya bean meal. And then we have our oil as our byproduct. We have all the ingredients available. The ones we are importing, we import them months ahead, and then we stock them up for the program. So we are well prepared to sustain Ghanaian farmers.
Officials who are pledging to supply the feed to the Nkukwo Nkete initiative on time also called for government support.
When it comes to challenges, probably it may be duties importing when the duties involved when you are trying to clear your things, and sometimes seizing your products and customs coming in and there. But then every now and then we are able to go through it. Just that sometimes the cost involved is very huge. Yeah, we are just hoping that the government will be able to support us.
The feed produced here is taken through rigorous laboratory tests to ensure the right quality control measures are followed through.
The survival of the poultry industry depends on feed. With government's Nkukwo Nkete initiative on the rollout, feed is an essential component to drive this program. The A2 Agro Allied, one of the companies that supplies feed to this program, is assuring that it will ensure the right feed is supplied to sustain the initiative. Hafiz Tijani, Channel 1 News, Kasi, Ashanti Region.
You're watching the Channel 1 Newsroom here on Channel 1 TV. Still to come. Côte d'Ivoire striker Didier Drogba lauds a new World Cup format, saying it will give more room for African football development. We'll be right back with the details. Please do stay.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa dear. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late? Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. Yeah. You go Kofi be the luckiest. Kofi from Georgia be luckiest. From not the block, she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
God Kwamio!
Send your God the apple boom. If you put it toye, so would the coming of the Son of Man be.
Hey!
Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Hey Ghana, so you people know Miss Brother Man Small. If you knew, it's your boy. Kill them all. But this time, I'm not only killing mosquitoes, I am killing the grades. See? This wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have the perfect mosquito-free atmosphere. Thank you, Out Insecticide. And yeah, Out Mosquito Coil. For a mosquito-free atmosphere, trust Out to... You are not serious.
Out Insecticide. So ya boa, faha.
Papa no, papa no, papa no, papa no, papa no, Ankasa. Polytank is everywhere, durable and authentic. Stronger brand you can trust. Polytank, we get some more Rambo and get some more Super. And the Polytank we did.
Polytank, Papa no, Ankasa.
Rooted in heritage. Shaped by ambition. Defined by style. Inspired by soul. This is Afro Quality, the first multi-country concept store for African brands. Now in Nairobi, Kigali, and Accra.
In December 2023, the biggest play in the history of African theatre made its debut.
Before Ogun, the God of Iron, I stand on oath.
You saw it.
Hey, we sent you all the way to Ileife to bring us greetings from Ifa.
By popular demand and in honor of Maoli Semevo, Image Bureau, in partnership with April Communications and the National Theatre, presents The Gods Are Not to Blame. This December 17th, 7 p.m., 18th, 7 p.m., and 19th, 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. at the National Theatre. Visit www.imagebureaugh.com or dial star 714*46# for your tickets. Single 250 cedis, double 400 cedis. Supported by New Plant Car Rentals, Ghana Tourism Authority, Balakwa, sponsors Stambic Bank, our media partners, and proudly brought to you by MTN.
This is AFCON, my friend. Everything is a competition. Everything.
Join our family for AFCON Morocco 2025 from 21 December to 18 January. Available on DSTV and GoTV.
Welcome back. Let's now bring you Channel 1 Sports with Yao Ejay Minta. Hello, Yao. It's good to see you.
Hi there, Nana.
We have the draw coming up.
Yes, it is.
The much-awaited draw.
Yes.
Give us the details.
Yes. Now, ahead of the draw for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, former Cote d'Ivoire striker Didier Drogba says the new World Cup format will give more room for African football development. 9 African countries have qualified directly to next year's World Cup with the potential for a 10th team to qualify via the intercontinental playoffs and the former Chelsea targetman appreciates the inclusive nature of the 2026 World Cup.
The improvement of the organization. I like the new format because it gives more team to the continent, and obviously it's more opportunities, more rooms for development. When I talk about development, I'm talking about infrastructures. You know, this is something that comes back again and again because we have the talent, but for the talent to be able to perform straight away when arriving in Europe, you need good facilities, something we don't have. So all these players, you name it, Yaya Touré, Samuel Eto'o, but those guys, it was more difficult for them, you know, because they didn't have the infrastructures, they didn't have the support, you know, to get to the highest level. So I think we're going to see more talent coming out of this competition because we have more teams, obviously. So it's good for African football, and it's good also for FIFA to have such an inclusive World Cup.
The former Liverpool forward Daniel Sturridge says the reigning English Premier League champions are not near the point where they should be moving on from Mohamed Salah. The Egyptian international has been left out of the starting 11 for 2 straight matches, including Liverpool's 1-0 draw with Sunderland in midweek. Salah will leave Liverpool to compete in the Africa Cup of Nations later this month, and many supporters are unsure if Liverpool head coach Arne Slot will continue keeping Salah out of the starting lineup.
Last season, he was the reason why the team won the league, and now we're quick to question because we've got Wirtz coming, we've got Isak coming, guys who are young players, top-class players, gonna potentially be world-class. The pair of them, there's no debate in that. I truly believe Ekitike, all the attackers that have Gakpo, this and that. But a man of Mohamed Salah's quality, it hurts me to see. I can tell that, you know, he's not happy, and you wouldn't be because you're used to being the main man. There comes a time in every player's career where managers, owners, and the player have decisions to make. I don't think this is the stage we're at with Mohamed.
That's it for sports. I am Yao Ejemita. Over to you, Nana.
Well, thank you very much, Yao. And that will be all for this package of the Channel One Newsroom here on Channel One TV. I am Nana Tufuo Boateng. Many thanks for your time.